What was fucking awesome as a kid, but sucks as an adult? My birthday. It's not that I hate it, it's just that I don't care about it anymore. I occasionally forget how old I am. The other day I mentioned to my sister about being 37. She had a confused pause and the conversation went on. Turns out I'm 36. I do this all the time. As I write this, I'm having this exact issue. Going to the mall. I used to like browsing stores, but now I just want to get what I need and go. I mean, most malls are also depressing vistas of empty storefronts bookended by a department store on life support these days. Having no job. Having no job is awesome. It's having no money that sucks. I was just thinking yesterday about a period when I was unemployed in my early 20s. I was like shit, I wasn't doing anything with my life. Then I started thinking about how awesome it was to have so much free time. I was unemployed for a year after college due to the pandemic. I miss the days I could just get up at 2 p.m, game all day, then go to bed at like 4 a.m. without anyone but my parents bugging me. Eating large quantities of candy in a single sitting. Yes. Still tastes great, but gives me wicked heartburn. Too much sugar can give me heartburn, but the more common side effect is a headache. I've discovered I get headaches if I don't get enough sleep, don't drink enough water, or eat too much sugar, or any combination of the three. Getting mail. I remember every day begging my parents if I got mail. I had pen pals. I got so excited when something came for me. Now I dread going to the mailbox, because all that will be there are bills. Sounds like you need to find more pen pals. You can just send a letter to your family. They appreciate it. Ask them to write back. Spinning in circles. I try to do that now, while holding my little one, and I do about 2 spins, before I'm lightheaded and dizzy as a drunk. Turning my head too fast makes me dizzy and nauseated lol. Getting up from the couch makes me dizzy FFS. That could indicate a blood pressure issue. Losing a tooth. Oh yes. Can you imagine running around showing your family, look, I lost a tooth. Doesn't it make me look adorable? And when you are a kid, a lost tooth makes you money. $sign as an adult, it costs you way more than all the money the tooth fairy ever gave you. That's how the tooth fairy makes enough profit to give some back. Edit, as a response to the claim that it is a insurance in a kinda broken backwards system, the legend has it that the tooth fairy exchanged the child's tooth for a coin to show the value of one's teeth, so that one will take care of them. The child of today will look at the coin with big eyes, as he understands that it can be exchanged with Coca-Cola. The tooth fairy is said to have been devastated. But when the cash started flowing in, she too became corrupted and signed a pact with Sugar Demon. There is an illustration of this metamorphosis, but I cannot remember the name of the artist. Link to painting. Waking up in another place than you fell asleep. Not to get sappy, but I used to love when my dad would carry me into my bed after falling asleep in the car or on the couch. I would wake up when he was carrying, but pretend to be asleep. It was such a nice feeling. He walked out on us right after my baby brother was born. My mom became pretty jaded and emotionally distant and would just drag him into bed whenever he fell asleep because she did not feel like carrying him to bed. I used to make it a point to carry him into his crib as gently as 12-year-old me could. Hope the little dude had that feeling too despite being in a broken home. Reminds me when I was younger. My older brother would carry me to bed as my dad had a bad back, and I was very much my brother's little princess. Unfortunately he got with a woman who was mentally unwell, and he hasn't spoken to us for over 15 years. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time 30 years, so I could snuggle my tiny face into his shoulder. The state fair. Especially now that I have to pay for everything. My parents took us to Disney World for a week as kids. I went for 4 days with my husband a few years ago and wanted to go home with how expensive everything was. I went home and thanked my parents for that trip. Depending on when those 2 trips happened, there was likely a considerable difference in cost, even after adjusting for inflation. Relevant New York Post summary here. Yep, went as a family of 6 for a week in 2000, and at the time it was $900 for everything. My dad wouldn't stop complaining about it, so I remember the number specifically. Went by myself again in 2021, and it was thousands of dollars for just me, and I didn't get to do nearly as much stuff as we did in 2000 either. That was with me budgeting. Disney is really getting out of hand and teetering on the edge of not worth it. I was curious about the $900 in 2000 since, of course, $900 back then had more buying power. Adjusted for inflation it would be $1,500 now. That's still pretty good in comparison to now's prices. The thought of being an adult growing up, right? So you can do whatever you want to do, right? Lol. Yes. And then responsibilities started. I wanna go back to playing, eating, sleeping, and shitting when I want. Back to 16. When you were old enough to go out with friends, but young enough to not be too tired to go out. Getting letters. I wanted to get letters as a child, but now I'm happier when I don't see them. Now it's always someone who wants my money, instead of relatives slipping you a few bucks. My brother-in-law sent $20 cash to my son for his 10th birthday and the envelope arrived torn open with no cash. I never thought I would commit murder over $20, but it's a good thing I don't know who did it. Being an adult is having this conversation less and less frequently until you lose contact with them entirely. Hey, you doing anything for your birthday? Nah, I gotta work. Might do something that weekend. You wanna swing by? Sorry, I have to work. No worries, I understand. Sorry I couldn't get you anything. Had a doctor's appointment. Low on cash right now. It's fine. You know I don't expect anything. I wish we could hang out sometime. Same. Just been so busy lately. When I have a moment free from work I'm just too tired for much of anything. Yeah, I feel that. Man, remember the good old days? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Gotta go. Talk to you next week. Only if I'm not dead, haha. Friend, to real. Sorry I don't have time for a lengthier response, but I gotta get back to work. Teenagers. As a kid, teenagers are the coolest, and you cannot wait to be one. As an adult they are just stupid brats. Sometimes when a group of teenagers is walking towards me in the street, I feel just like back when I wasn't a teenager yet and a group of teenagers was walking towards me in the street. Look at this high-waisted man. He has feminine hips. People coming to your house to visit and stay a few days. Seriously. I love my friends so much, but holy shit I get so anxious having to keep people entertained for more than a night. On that same note, however, it is great having those friends that you are close enough with to come hang out and just exist next to each other. Late 20s here. One of my friends and I will literally have week-long sleepovers and have a great time. But we do strike a good balance between adventuring and just the calm existing together vibe. That's when you know it's a good friendship. I've gone to visit a friend halfway across the world for 2 weeks in their tiny apartment. It worked because we were totally fine just existing together and not saying much during say, or 3-hour bus ride somewhere. Time to relax, and whatever else no problem. Staying awake till 2 in the morning as a teen/young adult. Yay baby, the possibilities are endless. Staying awake till 2 in the morning as a 40-something. This is gonna hurt in the morning. My circadian rhythm is set so firmly that I know I'm still gonna wake up at 7 AM. No matter how late I try to stay up, so I hate staying up past 1 AM. I'm usually in bed by like 9:30 PM these days just cause I'd rather get comfortable and play a game on my phone until I get sleepy. I'm 38 with the sleep schedule of a 4-year-old, but I don't care. MTV. I think the difference between MTV then and now says a lot about the world. Feel free to replace MTV in that sentence with any other cable channel of your choosing. Bravo was originally dedicated to film and the performing arts. Now it's just shitty rich women and 20/30-year-olds who haven't matured past college. TLC was originally focused on educational and instructional programming. Now it's fat people, midgets, and awful relationship drama. History was originally focused on history-based as well as social and science documentaries. Now it's just pseudoscientific, unsubstantiated, sensational investigative programming. Discovery initially provided documentary television programming focused primarily on popular science, technology, and history. Now it's just hyperbolic blue-collar reality TV. The turning to shit of cable TV was a mighty good leading indicator of the current state of American social discourse. Summer. When you're a kid, it's 3 months of freedom from school. When you're an adult, you still have to go to work, but now it's sweltering hot, and you're sweating your balls off all day, every day. Completely. I hate summer now. I don't even understand why they gave us that for 12 years and took it away. Well, in the US, it's so you could work your family's farm. The idea was, school winter cold to work the land, summer off so your family could use your child labor for benefit. As a kid I never had anxiety, because I was too naive to even understand the concept. Now it's all too real. Conversely, I was riddled with anxiety as a kid, still am as an adult, but now I've been to therapy, and it sucked, because I also couldn't understand the concept. I thought everyone was like me, and would lay awake sobbing silently, terrified the house was going to burn down, or a serial killer was going to come kill my parents. Fun times. Same. Everyone here is so nostalgic for childhood, but I'm just glad I finally have some framework through which I can understand my own misery. The end. Thanks for watching.